nerds, welcome back to another video. Gabriella here. Today is a good day and it's going to get even better because we've got my November TBR, y'all. Woo! Very excited about the books I'm reading this month. I've also got a very special team for this month. I'm just so excited. This is gonna be great. I'm in super deep reading mood. November has already started as I'm filming this. So I already know that I'm trudging on and doing fabulously for this month. So yeah, this is very exciting. And I can't wait to talk about all the beautiful books I want to read this month. Hopefully I have time for all of them. But considering the rate I'm going right now, I'm not too worried actually. It's gonna be a good month. I can already predict. But yeah, let's just get into it. First, don't forget to subscribe and click that little bell icon so you can be notified of every new video and so you can join the nerd gang, okay? Be part of the gang, y'all. You know you want to. You're watching my videos, you've watched a few of them, and you're like, this girl's awesome, she's funny, she's amazing, she's beautiful, she's talented. Just subscribe, sis. Like, I mean, what else are you gonna do, right? Binge watch all my videos, you know you want to. Anyways, let's just roll that intro and let's get into the books I'm reading in November. So, as I said, I've got a very special theme going on this month, and it's going to be only Sapphic book this month. Okay, we only want women-loving women in our books this month, and that's what it's going to be. And I've curated the ideal list. I mean, the ideal list. I literally took all my Sapphic books, chose the ones I was the most excited about reading first, and that's how I created my TBR. The very first book, though, that I'm going to talk about is not a book that is Sapphic, although it's giving the vibes. I'm excited for book number 2 because it's part of a series. I feel like something could happen. But anyways, we'll see. But the first book is only because I started in October and didn't finish it, so I'm finishing it this month in November, so it's not part of the actual November theme, but it is The Witch Haven by Sasha Payton Smith. I think this was part of my October TBR. So I did start in October, so victory for that, but I didn't finish it. But yeah, it's basically the story of a girl. She gets accused of murder and ends up being taken into this tuberculosis ward. This is set in 1911 New York City, but the tuberculosis hospital is actually Haven Academy. Haven Academy, not university. They're teenagers, and it is School of Witches. The Witch Haven. Get it? The name. Also, I love this cover. It's actually very simplistic, but I just love the rose gold. I feel like rose gold is underutilized in foiling in books. But that's a whole other issue. But yeah, very excited to finish this one. And yeah, it's a beautiful book. And I will definitely be reading more Sasha Payton Smith when she comes out with more books, because this is a debut. And I had pre-ordered this. Just good shit. Next, not only am I going to introduce a book I'm going to be reading this month, but also a new friend of mine. A new friend has joined the nerd gang, you guys, and it is my brand new Kindle Paperwhite. Lord have mercy. I'm obsessed. I am simply obsessed. It is definitely the main reason why my reading has been going so well. End of October and early November has just been going fabulously reading wise, and I'm putting full responsibility on this Kindle. It's addictive, you guys. But yeah, it is the Kindle Paperwhite, the brand new one that actually came out in October. I had pre-ordered it like a week in advance. Came the last week of October, right before Halloween. And I have not gone anywhere without it since then. It has followed me around. And so actually, although I own the physical copy of all the books here, I will actually be reading the Kindle versions probably the entire month, because Kindle, I get to bring it with me everywhere and read it in bed in the dark. It's just amazing. But while we're talking about my new best friend, this is the book, one of the books I'll be reading this month, which is called A Dowry of Blood. And it is actually a retelling of the story of the wives of Dracula. It's bloody. It's womanly. What can I say? What could go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? Yeah. the next book that I will also be reading on my Kindle is actually Payback's a Witch by Lana Harper. I actually started this book in September. Whoops. Was it an arc given to me by NetGalley that I didn't finish on time? Yes. Do I finish my arcs on time? Sometimes. But I always review them. So you know what? I'm trying my best. I'm drowning over here. Yeah. Also, I feel like I've gotten a lot of new followers lately. And the way I film my videos now is different than when I started my channel. So when I started my channel, you could see all 3 shelves. Now you can only see 2, and mind you, they're jam-packed. But I feel like people don't understand how much I'm drowning, considering I have another shelf on top of here, and I've got 2 shelves over there. I also, spoiler alert, spoiler for what? Anyways, I have a book cart now as well that has some books on it. Not that many. We're chilling. But it's not gonna go down. So yeah, I'm drowning. But yeah, Payback's a Witch by Lana Harper. Released October 5th. Started in September. But it is a Sapphic, sort of John Tucker Must Die type of vibe. Basically, these 3 witches have been scorned by the same witch guy. Wizard? Warlock? Whichever. Magical guy. Who's also a douche. And basically their families are all like the magical families of the town, and they have this kind of like try wizard tournament thing that they do every like generation, and it's always the guy's family that has won, and the girls are like, no longer, we need to like sabotage him and make sure he doesn't win, take him down a peg. But in the meantime, 2 of the girls, they get closer. Yeah, tale as old as time. Yeah, definitely try wizard tournaments in magical families in the continental US with a Sapphic love story. It's definitely a tale as old as time. But the vibes are immaculate, the vibes are there, and it also really worked with my theme this month. So there you go. The next book I'll be reading this month is The Dark Tide by Alicia Jasinka. I feel like I haven't heard that much about this book. Found it on TikTok, actually. But I've only heard great things, not like some other books I've read on TikTok. Anyways, from TikTok. But yeah, basically, of course, Sapphic love story. But The Dark Tide is actually about this small town. I believe it is an island town somewhere in a fantastical world. And every year, a person of the town has to be sacrificed to the sea, to the tide. Otherwise, the dark tide will come and envelop the entire island. So the queen has to make her decision this year. In a sort of Hunger Games-y way, the main character presents themselves as a volunteer instead of a family member, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And decides to, put themselves as the volunteer. I volunteer to read. I volunteer as tribute. Yeah. And in a very Katniss Everdeen way. But then the queen and the volunteer, they catch the feels, okay? And so predictably. So this is not really a spoiler. This is literally just the synopsis. And I mean, it's kind of obvious that was going to happen. But yeah, so then it's kind of like the decision of like, do I kill you to save the entire town? Or do we run away together and let the town be dead? Or do we just all kill ourselves in sort of a mass suicide, murder-suicide kind of thing? Lots of questions. But yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting. It's not too long a book. So yeah, I'm actually pretty excited for this one. I think it's going to be fun. Very different kind of vibe. Very different synopsis and plot. So I think it's going to be really awesome. And I've never read any Alicia Jasinka. I feel like it's Jasinka. Anyways, I've never read from this author before. I don't know if they have any other books, actually. But if I like this one, I'll definitely pick up some more because I feel like she probably has some great plot ideas and stuff. This is very different than the usual stuff you hear. The next book I'll be reading is a book I was highly anticipating this year that came out this fall. And it is A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Lee. Only heard amazing things again. I mean, do I read books that I don't hear good things about? Okay, yeah, I do because I hate myself. But, also love this cover so much. I love a purple moment. Purple is underrated in book publishing, at least. So Illicit Inventions is basically Sapphic dark academia with some sort of history of witchcraft woven in. Basically, there is a sort of urban legend about the school that they go to, this high school that they go to, where there seems to have been deaths in the past of students that were rumored to be witches. And when the main character meets a new student in school, she comes in and she wants to do research for a book about these witches that passed away, and sort of history starts repeating itself and everything gets woven in together. So it's like, is there magic? Is there not? Murder, suicide, what is it? Mystery. It's just incredible dark academia vibes. I actually was thinking of reading this for my dark academia TBR back in September, but I'm glad I'm doing it for the Sapphic readathon that I'm doing. Is it a readathon? No, Sapphic TBR. Also, very interesting. The author Victoria Lee was like, death to all men. There is not a single male in this entire book, not even a background character, nothing. It's an all-girl school with only girl teachers, only girl custodians, I'm imagining. So there is no men. She's got like quite a bit of hate for that. But I ain't gonna miss him. Very excited. It's gonna be good. Just very excited. It's gonna be so much fun. So the next book I'll be reading also has some sort of magical realism, dark academia vibes. And it is All Our Hidden Gifts by Caroline O'Donoghue. Basically the story of the main character, Maeve, which already I love because I'm a huge fan of sex education, and Maeve is just outstanding. So I'm excited to have another Maeve in my life, fictional. Although if a real Maeve wants to enter my life, I'm fine with that. But another Maeve in the fictional world for me is great. Basically, she ends up finding a pack of tarot cards in her school and becomes sort of the official tarot reader of her high school. She goes to a private, uniform school in Ireland, and she decides to wish, while being with the tarot cards, she decides to wish that her ex-best friend would disappear. And lo and behold, the next day, the ex-best friend, has disappeared without a trace. Nobody knows where she is. Maeve feels responsible, and I mean, girl, kind of are. And she's very confused because, I mean, she was just playing around with the tarot cards. She didn't think there would be actual magic involved. But also, her ex-best friend's sibling is a non-binary icon who is also Maeve's ex. So in a sense, this is not exactly a sapphic read, but it is non-straight with a girl main character. So I just felt like it was queer enough for me to make it into the Sapphic readathon. Also, honorable mention to this outstanding cover. Just beautiful. And the back is also outstanding. I love the constellation. It's just beautiful. The shades of pink are outstanding. Probably one of my favorite covers of all time, to be honest. It's just beautiful. And I'm so excited because the author announced second book and released the cover as well of the second book and the title. So I'm excited to read this, love it, and then pre-order the second one. Yeah, another great win for the month of November. Next is The Lost Girls by Sonia Hartle. Wow, this is so much like the last book I was holding. This is the ultimate John Tucker Must Die meets vampires meets lesbians. It's amazing. Basically, I'm just gonna read you the blurb. Getting over your vampire ex is as easy as killing him and stealing his girlfriend. Basically, his vampire ex ended up turning her against her will without consent. And she decides that she's gonna get revenge on him by killing him and stealing his girlfriend, which I think is muy bueno. This is actually my sister's copy. I ended up buying it for her as an early birthday present. Her birthday is at the end of November. And I wanted to read this along with her, so I'll be reading on my Kindle while she reads the paper copy. And hopefully she gets in the mood to read soon, because I really want to read it, but I don't want to read it without her, because then that defeats the whole purpose. Also, this book was so hard to get my hands on. It wasn't available on Amazon, wasn't available Chapters Indigo, wasn't available at Barnes & Noble, and wasn't available at Book Depository. literally the only book places I can buy. Also wasn't available at my local indie store. And then I looked, and the Chapters Indigo nearest to my house had one copy left. I was able to order it for pickup online and get it. So I went after work and got it. So happy. But yeah, and she gets to own a nice little fun book. I actually made my sister watch John Tucker Must Die during the pandemic. She didn't really have to go to school because the high schools were kind of closed. And so we had a lot of time on our hands to get her educated on all the movies she missed that came out before she was born or when she was a baby. So, because she's only turning 15 this year. So John Tucker Must Die was definitely on that list, and she loved it because, of course, who doesn't? So I felt like this was a perfect book for us to buddy read together. Very excited. Next will be She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Shan. Very excited about this one this summer when it came out, and haven't gotten a chance to read it yet. But considering it's Sapphic, made it into this month's TBR. So She Who Became the Sun is described as the Song of Achilles meets Mulan, because basically it is a historical retelling of the story of the founding emperor of the Ming Dynasty. So we're in the 1300 China, I believe 1400 China. Yes, so the main character is queer, and it's supposed to be this very queer lyrical retelling of a real historical event. Very excited to see a female lead in this kind of story, in this kind of historical setting. I also feel like I do not read enough, or do not own and haven't read enough books set in countries outside of Europe and North America. So I'm excited to venture into China with this book. Very excited, and also still love the cover so much. Beautiful, beautiful. Orange is also underutilized in books. I realize that every book I've mentioned has a color that I think is underutilized, but it's the truth. I ain't wrong. Also, I needed to look up the synopsis again on Goodreads, and it's part of a series. Homegirl is excited. Very excited. Also, can we also respect how this book came out in paperback? People in the UK, you guys don't understand. All the books that you get when they first come out in hardcover and paperback like straight away. Not in North America. Unless it's a romance novel, it usually only comes out in hardcover. And I feel like only recently this year they started coming out as paperback and hardcover, or even just paperback books that aren't romance. And this came out only in paperback, I believe, here. Although the UK edition hardback is muy bonito, but love this. Love a floppy paperback. I'm happy. Next will be Last Night at the Telegraph Club by Melinda Lowe. I'm so excited. This is set in 1954 San Francisco, and it is the story of a queer Asian woman. The Telegraph Club is this underground queer bar where people get to be themselves for a little bit of time in the 50s. It is a love romance kind of story, but I'm feeling like it's gonna make me sad. I don't know, but something about queer Asian women in 1950s United States just gives me the EBGBs. Like, I'm scared, but I'm excited. I kind of hope it's gonna make me cry. Apparently, it's made people cry, so kind of hoping for those vibes, to be honest. I'm excited to destroy myself. But yeah, love this book cover. It's just outstanding. Again, using some purples. You know how I love my purples. So, very excited. It's a bit chunkier than I would have imagined. I mean, it's not chunky. It's 408 pages, but it just feels chunky. But yeah, very excited. Last but not least will be Crier's War by Nina Varela. I know about nothing about this book. I know that Crier is the main character, and I know that there's a war, and I know that it's Sapphic. I also know that the second book is already out. But yeah, this is actually the biggest book I think I'll be reading this month. But it's not that big. It's not that bad. It stands at about 430 pages. So we'll be okay. We'll be fine. Love this cover. It just doesn't appear great on camera because of the lighting. But yeah, one made, one loved, one betrayed. Okay. I feel like this is gonna be intense. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of blood, a lot of fighting, and I think, am I mistaken? I have a feeling. Oh, damn. Sorry, I just read the blurb in the back. I love how I'm finding out about these books that I've planned for myself with you guys. It's just a great experience. But impossible love between two girls. One human, one made. A love that could birth a revolution. Okay. I'm very excited. This is going to be awesome. Also, this book was really cheap. The paperback was $13.50 Canadian. Pretty sure I got it on sale as well. So, excited. That is the last book I have planned for this month. I mean, it's not like I don't have enough. I think we good. But yeah, I'm just looking at this pile and I'm like, this is scary. It looked less scary on my Kindle when I had them planned out. Let's see how much I can read. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure I'm going to stick to a TBR because these are some of the books that I was the most excited to read in general on my bookshelf, to be honest. So I love that all these were bought like this summer. So really, considering that I'm the most excited about them, my poor books that I bought like a year or more ago, just taking dust. I will read you all. I love you all. I will read you all. But these books are by far the books I'm the most excited about to read. So I totally see myself sticking to my TBR. But that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. If you watch all the way to the end, let's put a heart emoji because love. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, all my social medias are linked down below. It's always at GabysPages, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. Is that all? Instagram. Did I say Instagram? Anyways, I also have my website, GabysPages.com, so you can stay up to date on my reviews, on my videos, blah, 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 blah. And so you can find the famous book finder. If you're looking for a specific book you can't seem to find, that is the place for you. As well as ways to support this channel, linked down below. My Ko-fi for donations, my book outlet referral code, and my TubeBuddy referral code as well. And I also have a link down below all the books I talked about today, as well as my Kindle Paperwhite will be linked down below with Amazon affiliate links. If you make any of the purchases of any of the things I talked about today through these links, I will get a little money in my pockets. I know, extra price to you, and that means less money in Jeff Bezos's pockets. So, you know, you got to. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Love you all, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.